band was warming up, getting adventurous. Jessica made to move back to the safety of the seats, leaving the floor to the few mixed couples, the increasing number of younger, more daring women. Grace kept hold of her hand, refusing to move. Jessica smiled, one of her evil grins. If Grace Carew Petrullo wanted to dance the tango, then she was more than willing to give it a go. She was glad she'd warmed up with the other dances first. Her back wasn't as supple as it had once been. Grace felt the gentle, firm touch of Jessica's hand on the small of her back. My God, she thought, is this what I waited nearly 60 years for? Is this it? She was disappointed. When all was said and done, it was only dancing, however risque. This was not the dangerous, delightful, desirable moment she had always imagined. All she had ever wanted to do was dance, with Vincent, with Jack, with Rosa, but first of all, and most of all, with Jessica Markham. And here she was, dancing. There was definitely something missing. Well, it feels wonderful to be dancing like this again, Jessica thought. Invigorating, exciting, daring. She whirled Grace's portly figure about and started to stalk towards the doors of the lounge. Grace crushed to her. She laughed. It was ludicrous, really. Making an exhibition of herself. That's what the headmistress had called it. She'd done more than that when she danced with Rosa Neal. Much more than that. Even that school wouldn't have expelled her for just dancing. Jessica was caught up in the memory of it. She had been dancing like this, cheered on by the laughing horde of girls, dancing close and hot and excited, and she had danced Rosa out of the school hall, up the stairs and into her bed. Rosa had been tall and willowy, not stodgy like Grace, but actually Grace danced better. Grace danced beautifully. She liked dancing with her. Jessica suddenly noticed that she had lost the lead. Grace had usurped it and was leading her firmly, gently, towards the doors. She looked down at Grace, who was looking extremely determined. Well, she thought, smothering her surprise, enjoying having her bluff called. She allowed Grace to bend her protesting back into a swoop down to the floor. It alarmed her a little. She wasn't sure she would make it back up. Another shower of beads cascaded off her dress. Jessica laughed. They reached the doors. Grace pushed through them and they swung closed, muffling the music. Grace let go of Jessica's hands, a little out of breath, a little out of her depth. So what happens now? She asked anxiously. More dancing, Jessica said. Next morning, Grace's bed was full of little glass beads. People often say to you, when you're a writer and you do readings, where'd you get your ideas from? Mostly I can't remember. That one I remember. It was a radio programme. Michael Aspel, I think, interviewing old ladies, who knows what about. And one of them was complaining that when they had dances in their old people's home, there weren't enough men to go round and sometimes they had to dance with a woman. And I thought, and your problem with that is? So that's where that story came from. I also own the dress. 1920s black chiffon, crepe de chine, I think, dress covered in little beads. Anyway, can't get into that anymore, so you're not going to get a look at that.